Okay, so we're going to start in a comfortable seat and a nice relaxed space. As ever, we're going to focus on our breath just to exit out of our day, whether that's a good day, whether that's a stressful day, doesn't matter. We're here and we're on our mat. So allow ourselves to slowly breathe and relax. Now, once we've finished our kind of warm up, our movement for the day, we'll then move into a bit more of a yogi flow. We'll hold some poses, we will use our breath as ever. But if there's anything that isn't right for you, please don't do it. You are your teacher, I am your guide. So we're going to start today's practice by consciously breathing in through the nose and slowly exhaling that out through the nose as well, with control. And keep this rhythm going. And breathe. Always going to return to the fundamentals. Back to our breath, back to our movement. We don't need to complicate it. Keep things simple. I had something really nice the other day about the breath in your practice, and it's likening your yoga practice to a piece of music, and the timepiece, the rhythm of the track, whether it's a 4/4 pattern or whatever the pattern is the base to any piece of music. And once you have that rhythm, you then start to overlay the drums, the guitar, the vocals, until we get this harmony, or we get this kind of piece of music that draws emotional, makes us feel a certain way. Very much the same with our yoga practice. It's our breath that holds the rhythm, and on top of that we layer in different movements or different breathing patterns, but we always return to that breath, that rhythm that we're creating here. This is why we sit at the start of the mat, start of the practice on the mat, gaining our rhythm for our practice. Okay, the next inhale, let's take our hands to our center. And I actually want you to set an intention for today's practice. Whatever rises to the top of your mind, pops into your consciousness, we'll take that as our intention. Take a deep breath in and fully exhale. Release the hands, good. In a way that feels comfortable, let's move to a standing seat. Standing seat? Standing position. If you can do a standing seat, I would love to see it. Okay, so we're going to start in Tadasana, where our feet are going to be a little bit wider. Toes can be slightly pointed out, but we want to feel nice and anchored into our stance. And before we get started, let's center in. It's going to be a bit of a slow start, but there's a reason for this, because I want your awareness to be sharp and not distracted by complicated movements. Press into your heels, press into the balls of your feet and your toes. Squeeze the glutes, draw the belly back, lengthen through the spine. Nice, strong, active posture, but not clenching. Find that balance between effort and ease. Okay, we're going to send our hands out in front. And we're going to spread the fingers. With your eyes closed or open, take your awareness down into your hands. Feel the palms, feel the fingers, feel the backs of your hands. Very good. And now we're going to slowly close the fingers and then open the fingers. And we're just going to repeat this slowly with the breath, just feeling your breath expand into the hands. And I want you to see if you can make the movement incredibly smooth. You might find that if you try and slow down the movement, it becomes slightly robotic or blotchy, or like it doesn't feel smooth, okay? That's okay, it's really, really normal. Just try and make it as smooth as possible as you open up the fingers and close the fingers. Really articulate the range within each finger joint. And this is where the name CARS comes from. Controlled, articulated rotations. We're rotating, we're moving, we're articulating the range within each and every joint within the body. Okay, very good. Excellent. So bring that one to a stop. We're going to send our hands slightly more forward, and we can turn the palms up if you wish, and we're just going to turn the fingertips in until we can clench a fist, and then we're going to open the fingers back out, and then we're going to clench a fist, and we're going to open back out. And when you open out, try and really open up your hands like you're stretching your palms, okay, and just really articulate the range. And just notice what you feel. Is it a little strong? Does it feel a little bit too stretchy? Do you need to back out a little bit? Just notice. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Next one. So we're moving away from the hands a little bit, and we're going to move to the wrists. And what we need to do is very gently, keeping the forearms facing up, we're just going to lift the fingertips back and extend them forward. Now your hands can be at the side like mine, they can be into your belly, they can be slightly down below if you wish as well, whatever feels comfortable here. And we're just going to lift and back. Now from the side you'll find that your range will be different in your joints. Each of us will have different range of movements. It's a really good way of finding out yours. When I lift my back, I start to, let's see, back here so you can see. I go up to about here before I really start to feel it in here and here. And what you'll notice is because you're giving your body a task, your brain will try and cheat a little bit. So it might go, okay, I'm going to move my fingers. Okay, but what we want to do is keep the hands straight, so we just flex at the wrist. Okay, we're just moving this back and down, nice and gently. If this is a little strong, please stop at any point. So just moving back. We're articulating that range. Yeah, okay, perfect. So if you're doing both arms, brilliant. So just moving back. You can see how this starts to benefit your practice. You can start to see, if you act like an investigator, what poses work for you. So for instance, if we're looking at downward facing dog, if we notice we start to struggle here, for instance, and our wrist doesn't come back further than this, when we then go into a downward facing dog position where we're asking our wrist to do a lot of this movement and have a 90-degree angle, it's going to be a challenge. Okay, this is where you might think about modifications and blocks, or focusing specifically on loosening off your forearms and developing your practice on your own experience. Okay, so it gets quite strong. Cool. Almost down the wrists. What we're going to do is see, actually palm facing up helps here. See if you can rotate the hand without the forearm rolling in, or the shoulder, or the hand. So I like to just clasp the back of the wrist and just rotate. Keep the palm facing up. And imagine you're drawing a circle with your fingertips. And you want to start that circle off small and then get bigger and bigger. And you'll find that sometimes as you get round into the range, the movement starts to get a little blocky. It starts to judder a little bit. That's really, really normal. You might find it a bit achy in the hands. It's cool. Okay, I know we're going at a slow pace, but drop the awareness into the body. This level of awareness will pay dividends in your movement, in your practice. Notice how the brain starts to try and cheat. Like I can see my forearms rotating in. Keep it still, even if you have to do it one arm at a time. You do really well. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys after this and see how you get on. If you're like me, you got loads of clicking and clacking going on. Really, really normal. Okay, shake the hands out. Cool. So already I can feel my fingers, wrists and hands, and that's just after 5 minutes or a couple of minutes of just intentionally moving your fingers and your hands. Like, when do we actually move the joints like that? We don't. Okay, so if it feels a little tired or a bit sore, that's normal. Just don't make sure it's not in pain. You're not in pain. Okay, so just cycle the wrists around just to get them nice and loose. Okay, cool. So if we're going to move all our joints, we're now going to move up the arm to our elbows. So first of all, we're going to tense all the way up, activate the bicep, and then we're going to all the way down extend the triceps as well. So you'll feel a nice tension through the triceps and may even feel a stretch in the biceps. We're going to squeeze and we're going to go down. Perfect. Squeeze and down. And each time you'll find that you're able to activate the muscle just a little bit more and take yourself just a little bit more into that articulation of the shoulder joint. Okay, now we're going to add another layer to this. We're going to lift up, we're going to turn the palms so they face forward, and then we're going to go down. And we're going to lift up, we're going to turn the palms so they're backwards, and then they're going to go down. So up, turn, down. Up, turn, down. Excellent. Okay, if you feel any niggles, note them and talk to me after class. And if you're finding that you're getting any pinching on the inside of the joint, please don't push into that. Relax. Okay, now changing this up a little bit. When we come down to the bottom, we're going to turn the hands and lift up, go down, turn at the bottom and lift up. Take your time. Whilst you're doing this, I'm going to demonstrate something to you. When we are moving at a joint, there is an open part of the joint and a closed part of the joint. If you feel pain in a certain area, either closed or open, will depend on how you move forward. Okay, so if you feel discomfort in the closed part of the joint, so if I close here, you can see I am closing my elbow, pinching inside, that's the closed part. That shows there's a bit of tension inside. If we then continue to push into it, you're only going to compress and make it a problem. It's only going to hurt more. Whereas the open part of the joint, if we shut it and the open part, we're getting discomfort here, might need a little bit of stretching, a bit of fascia release, or a bit of flexibility training on the triceps or the forearms. Okay, so just so you know, closed part of the joint, don't push into it. If it's in the open part of the joint, it means you can go a little bit more if it's in your practice. Okay, cool, excellent. Next one for the elbows. We're going to see if we can create a nice rhythm. So one arm comes up, rotate around and through. Keep the shoulder blades going forward. So you'll find the rhythm. It might feel a bit goofy and a bit awkward to start with. And round. Don't worry if it takes a little bit to get the rhythm. What you can do with this is speed it up a little bit or slow it down a little bit. Change direction. So it's like the palm connects with the chest and the belly, then it opens out to the side and back in. So palm to belly and then forward facing. Perfect. Okay, and give that a shake. Okay, excellent. Still with me? We good? Yep, A1. Okay, shoulders. We're going to warm up with these a little bit. So let's get a bit of movement going. Feet facing forward, hands facing the floor, and we're going to extend the arms and all the way up. And then we're going to come back round to the floor. So left forward, right back. Allow the core to twist all the way back up. And then keep going. Right goes forward, left comes behind. And we're just going to circle all the way around. So the left arm is going backwards, the right arm is going forwards. The torso is turning and just allowing that all to flow and move. And let's change direction and bring that right arm backwards, left arm forwards. So right arm is clockwise, left arm is clockwise. Allow the hips to move in this one. Getting some nice movement to the shoulders. You should actually feel the shoulders feeling nice and strong. You get a nice burn going on in the shoulders. Okay, last one. And relax. Okay, cool. And now we're going to get this a little bit more articulate. You're going to need to focus on this one. So let's take a deep breath, come into mountain pose. And we're going to take our right arm first. Right arm down towards the floor. Reach with the fingertips. So we're stretching through the upper body, the traps, and through the arm as well. Thumbs facing up. We'll do this together. Nice slow motion. Lift the thumbs all the way up. Keep your hips forward. You're going to hit a block where you can't go any further. That's normal. Then we're going to rotate our thumb around, and that's going to free up the shoulder joint. We're going to be able to bring the hand round. Keep rotating until your little finger is pointing towards the bum. Excellent. Then we're going to lift back up, we're going to hit a block, and then we're going to unwind the shoulder all the way back up and round. Bit of a complicated one. So what we're going to do is again lift up the thumb until we get to a block in the shoulder. We can't go any further. Then we're going to move the thumb clockwise, and this is going to free up your shoulder joint to move backwards. We're going to keep that stretch in the front of the shoulder. Keep the arm rotating until the arm comes all the way down and the little finger is near the leg. We're going to lift the arm back, unravel. You might hear a lot of clicking and grinding and clacking in this one. Really normal. Okay, one more time. Lift all the way up. Rotate. So we're internally rotating the shoulder to free it up there. Lift and round and back. Okay, perfect. You can see how this works in any binds when we're using our arms. That rotation. So for instance, if we're rotating our arm to go behind the body, then it's the same rotation up here. We're just going to internally rotate to get some more space into the shoulder, enable us to reach round. Okay, opposite side. I know this is nice and slow, but for good reason. If your mind's drifting a little bit, bring it back, focus on your body, see what your body's telling you. Fingers down, hips forward, inhale, reach the block, and rotate back. All the way around, to the little fingers to the leg, and lift back, and around. Keep the shoulder relaxed, and down. Very good. And up, and round, all the way back, and up. Okay, last time. Obviously, if this is causing any pain, discomfort, just don't do it. Not everything in this practice is going to be for everybody. Lift up and round. Whew. Oh, I can feel that in my shoulders really deep. A deep warmth in my shoulders is good. Okay, now the next one we're going to do is the neck. Now again, really listen to your own body here. Start small and only do this if it feels right for you. If it doesn't, don't do it. I'm going to demonstrate first. We're going to drop the neck down with chin to the chest. We're going to look over to our left shoulder. Then going to drop the ear down towards the floor to the shoulder and just roll the neck all the way around to the other side. And from there, we just look to our right shoulder, drop the right ear, and just rotate round. Okay, last time. Look over to the left, drop the left ear, and rotate round. And then look to your right, drop the right side, and rotate round. Very good. Okay, nicely done. Moving on to our thoracic spine. Okay, so we get a lot of twists in this spine, so we want to open this up really well. We're going to give ourselves a hug. Now, if any of you just feel this, please don't. Like Suzanne, I would take it a bit steady on this first. From here, squeeze the bum. What we're going to do is just round at the upper back. So just feel that upper back stretch. And from here, we're just going to drop the left shoulder. And we're going to feel the right hand side of the body opening up into the back. Feels lovely. And then we're just going to roll round to the opposite side until the left side is feeling nice and open. And then we're going to come back to the center. We're going to arch at the upper back. And we're going to open through the left side by dropping the right side. And on that thoracic spine, just roll round the back. Excellent, well done. Okay, relax that one there. So for the hips, just nice and simple. We're going to have some nice big hip circles. Now when you do this, just notice if anything changes. So for me, it's when I'm shifting over to the side, I'm also feeling it on the inside of the leg here. And it's almost like you want to chase that stretch and see when it stops and when it kicks in. So really tune into your body. And if you like a little bit more punishment, what you can do is if you get your thumbs and get them right into your glutes as you're rolling round, it gives you a real nice deep fascia, deep tissue massage as well, and you really get to find out if you have a few trigger points around your hips. Okay, change direction. Okay, perfect. So the next one is going to require a little bit of balance. So we're going to stand on one foot. So take a wall or a side if you need. Okay, from here, from our knee, we're just going to kick the foot out. I don't know why, but I always imagine this like a putter. So we're just going to, if you imagine your knee straight, with your foot, we're just going to, the femur stays the same. So we're not shifting the leg out or the hip, the femur stays the same, and we're just going with the foot. Okay, so that's the internal, external rotation we want. The femur stays in the same place. So we're going to lift up, we're going to put out, and then we're just going to rotate that foot all the way back, as if you're trying to climb a little fence. And then we're going to bring the knees together, we're going to extend the foot down, all the way through, we're going to lift the heel, we're going to send the heel out, and we're going to see if we can open up, climb the fence again through the hip, and down through the floor. Perfect. So we're going to lift up, climb the fence, send the foot back, over the fence. Keep the hips still, bring the knees together, send the feet down, extend by squeezing the quad, lift the heel, then we're going to come back over the fence and down one more time. Lift up the knee, over the fence, bring the knees together, extend through the left foot, bring the right foot back up, back over the fence. Excellent. Okay. Actually, whilst we're here, we'll stay on the same leg and we'll get into the knee. Bring the heel up towards the bum by activating the hamstrings. And then we're going to activate the quad and send the foot all the way through. And then we're going to lift up and extend through. And breathe. Now, just like we did before with the elbow, we're going to bring the heel back and then forward, and we're just going to rotate the foot outwards. I'm going to lift it up, down, rotate it in, and then lift it back. Rotate and through, and relax there. Some of these movements might feel really weird, really goofy. That's really normal too. Okay, opposite side. Lift up the knee. I'm going to send it out to the side of the foot. I'm going to see if we can climb the fence all the way back. Bring the knee to each other. Extend through the foot. Lift it up. Lift over the fence. Move through the hip and down. And then lift up and back over the fence and through. One more time. Lift up, down, up we go, over the fence and through, and up and round. Excellent. From here we're going to lift the heel towards the bum and squeeze through the toes and back. Really activating your quad and your hamstrings here. Really drawing your feet back as much as possible. And then we're going to start to rotate the foot. This is something I used to use every day during knee surgery. Really good for mobilizing the knee. And last one, relax. Whoa. I can feel it in my standing leg as well. So glutes getting a nice workout on the standing leg. Excellent. You could do this holding on or with your balance. And we're just going to balance and we'll rotate at the ankle. Exit. Get some nice movement up, down, side to side. It's not about your balance, so if you need to hold on, please do. Okay, change foot. And flex forward, round in circles. Okay, very good. Relax up there, give everything a shake. One last one, and that is our toes. So, we're going to see if we can draw our toes back off the floor. Lift the toes up off the mat, and then down. Lift the toes, and down. Okay, and then, can we spread the toes like your fingers? So weird. If it feels weird, that's cool. Okay, from a nice spread foot, see if you can put just the pinky down on the floor. And then see if you can put just the big toe, but keep your middle toes up. And then lift up your big toe, lift up your pinky, and just put your big toe down. Leave the rest up off the floor. And then your pinky down, and then the 3 in the middle are up, and then all of them down. Awesome. Whew. Okay, give everything a shake off. Now, you don't need to go through the entire body every day. What you will find is that the more you do it, the faster you get through this. Like, you'll just get into your flow and you'll know exactly what's going on. So you can start with your fingers and just really work through the whole body pretty quickly. But if you have a specific area of tightness, maybe your shoulders or your knees, then you can just choose what works for you. So any of that, any time of the day, is really going to help, especially if you're working at a desk or you're on your feet all the time. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just take a nice forward fold to stretch everything out. So from the front of your mat, press your palms together, take a deep breath in, lift up the arms, and fully exhale over. Allow the hands to rest by the feet, and we're going to breathe here for 10 nice, long, deep breaths. Continue to breathe. Okay, and the next exhale, very simply, what we're going to do is just bend at the knees, inhale, send the arms forward, reach forward, squeeze the glutes all the way up, exhale the hands down all the way over, back into a forward fold, and we're just going to connect the breath with some nice long movements, really stretch out the muscles now. We've worked on the mobility of the body, now let's work on the flexibility of the body. So inhale, bend the knees, inhale, swoop the arms all the way up, slight back bend, exhale down all the way across the body into forward fold. Inhale, fold at the knees, squeeze through the glutes, inhale the arms up, exhale the arms down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. This time we're going to plant the hands, send the right foot back, followed by the left foot. If your wrists are strong, follow me. If you need to make an adjustment, please do. Bend the knees, downward facing dog. As you exhale, press forward over to high plank. Inhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Exhale, pressing forward. Inhale, pressing back. And flow a couple more times. Breathe. And exhale over. This time we're going to move into high plank, and as we send it back, we're going to send the left foot up nice and high. Send the left foot to the inside of the left hand. On the inhale, draw everything back through. Inhale for crescent pose. Exhale, draw the shoulders and elbows back. Inhale, back to center. Fully exhale, straighten the front leg, release the left foot back, holding high plank into downward facing dog. Right leg comes up nice and high, sending the right foot to the inside of the right hand. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, elbows and shoulders back. Inhale, center, straighten the legs, forward fold. Over the leg, release the right leg, downward facing dog. Thanks, dear. And over we go, high plank. And left foot back. Inhale, left foot to the inside of the hand. Inhale, arms come back. Exhale, draw the elbows down. Inhale, lift up the hands. Exhale, the front leg, fully forward fold. This time, hold over the front leg. Nice deep breath here. And release that left foot back into downward facing dog. Very good. Okay, and this time I'm going to send that right foot up nice and tall. Lift up for crescent pose. Draw the hands all the way up. Exhale, the elbows back. Nice deep stretch into that back hip flex. Inhale, fully up. Straighten that front leg. Exhale, fully over. Really stretching through the posterior chain, hamstring, lower back. Breathe. If you need blocks here, please feel free. And release, slight bend. Release that right leg back into downward facing dog. And this time we're going to exhale, pushing forward over the toes, all the way over into cobra, upward facing dog. Squeeze the bum, point the toes, pressing strongly into the hands. And exhale, all the way back into child's pose. Taking a long breath here. Just feel gravity and your body weight just pulling you deeper into your hips. And inhale, lifting back up. Okay, very good. So from a nice strong tabletop pose, if this is strong on your wrist, please come to the forearms and take this modification. We can still do the exact same. If we're in tabletop, what we want to do is bring the right arm forward, nice and long, and send the left foot back. Excellent, keep the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and exhale, bring the elbow together and the knee to touch, and inhale, breathing back out. Let's get that core nice and strong. With your breath, exhale in, inhale out. Exhale in and out. Breathe. Very good. One last time. Bring it all the way in. And if it's in your practice, we're going to send it back. From here, we're going to reach behind. We're going to send our hand to the top of the foot. We're going to press the foot into the hand and arch through the back and press strongly through the left arm. Only if it's in your practice. Breathe. And exhale, release the right hand, send the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Excellent, well done. And then drop into those hips, release the left hand into a nice deep twist. If you're avoiding twists, then what you can do here is send the left arm out in front of you. Very good. And release back down. Heel toe that left foot out. Back to your tabletop position. You need to give your wrists a little bit of a shake here. Please feel free. as we take the opposite side. Perfect. You can send the opposite leg back, left arm forwards. Very good. When you're ready, when you feel nice and in your practice, in your core, then we're going to exhale together. Elbow to knee. Inhale back. At your own pace, in your own practice, breathe. Really working that core strength. Really elevating your posture. Taking every bit of attention that we created at the start of the practice into your movement. And then hold here. And then as we're releasing that, reach behind, send the top of the foot to the hand, and we're going to extend through. Only if it's in your practice. We're going to press into the foot, into the hand. Very good. And from here, we're going to release that foot, bring it all the way to the outside of the right hand. From here, we're going to drop in to the left hip, release the right hand towards the ceiling. And breathe. Almost there. And relax back down. Release that right foot. Bring the knees underneath one more time. And from here, we're going to push forward, bend at the elbows into a Sphinx posture. So the elbows should be in a nice position here. Point the toes. Sorry, Cobra, not Sphinx. Squeeze the bum, press into the hands, lifting the lower back up. Take your gaze forward. If you'd like to extend this fully into upward facing dog, then that's entirely up to you. Breathe here. Take a deep breath in and fold at the elbows, fully exhale all the way down. Very good. Let the forehead rest. And then when you're ready, rolling to your back. Perfect. And from here, if you don't have a dog in your way, bring your knees to your chest. And then from here, we're going to see if we can send the feet back and hook the toes for happy baby. Just feel as your practice begins to descend. Now some of you might like to extend this into prone, like a straddle, and just extend the feet. Some of you may want to keep the knees bent, whatever feels good for you here. We're just going to bring the heels down and take the hands into the shins and just begin to circle the lower spine. And the opposite way. Very good. From here, we're just going to release the legs down. Let the feet find the corners of your mat. The palms facing up. As you move into stillness, into silence, into Shavasana. when I move into Shavasana, when I first get here, there's sometimes a kind of desire just to go, and just kind of almost kind of collapse into it. I find if you bring yourself in consciously to your state of deep rest, focus, and calm by using your breath, just like we do at the start of the practice, it really allows you to appreciate the peace that we've created. So, whatever analogy you want to use or visualize here, use your breath as you inhale and exhale to go ever steadier into Shavasana. Now, today kind of wasn't one of those practices to get that big kind of release at the end, but still, guide yourself in with your breath. I've heard the analogy of people walking downstairs with every breath to a space of relaxation. I've heard the feather slowly floating down. Until we get to that space where we're on our mat, present, relaxed, and just aware of our own experience. And slowly, when you're ready, beginning to bring movement to your fingers, your toes. Begin to stretch out your practice. Join me in a seated position. Take your time. Lovely. Great. Bring your hands together. And just take a moment here with our eyes closed. I find it absolutely kind of mind-boggling, the perceivable likelihood that we even have a body and we're able to use it and move and play and explore it and enjoy life through movement and our body. It's crazy to think, and it blows my mind every time I think about it. So I really appreciate being able to move with you, to share this with you. And I hope you really kind of appreciate how unique you are in the way that you move in your experience. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll leave that one there. Namaste, everybody.